How often do you use French?
I don't use French really, personally.
A new report shows the use of French is on the decline among young people in the province. A 152-page report by the OQLF, Quebec's language watchdog, shows the level of French spoken outside the home is often below the provincial average among 18 to 34-year-olds, especially in Montreal.
For a time it was 50-50, I think, between English and French. I think now it's getting more Anglophone, but I think a lot of people speak French, but in their home they speak more English, I think.
Downtown, probably more English, I think because it's more diverse, but I do hear French a lot too.
The report says young people are more likely to favor English or a mix of English and French at work and in shops. 58% of Quebecers in 2023 between 18 and 34 years old used French almost exclusively at work, compared with 64% in 2010. The report also shows that enrollment in English CEGEPs is on the rise and that more than half of young Quebecers prefer using English on social media platforms. Each person speaks the language they want to speak. The most important is what language you understand. In Montreal, the use of French outside the home drops to 60%, and in Gatineau, it drops to 63%. Jack Jedwap from the Association for Canadian Studies says the findings are not surprising.
The fact that there's just a lot more mixing and interaction between Anglophones, Francophones, and Allophones in Montreal and Gatineau, and that's an inevitable reality.
Last month, Quebec announced it will be spending over $600 million to promote the French language, with more than half the money going towards helping newcomers learn French.
Immigration is going to change the demographics to the extent that the vast majority of immigrants coming to Quebec are persons whose first language is neither English nor French. You're seeing sort of a renewal of that phenomenon, and so over time, there's going to be some stability, but allophones speak French to a reasonably important degree. And so the real issue, I think, is the extent to which they speak both French and English.
Jean-François Roberge, the province's French language minister, says the report doesn't take into account recent changes that strengthen the French language charter, but adds, if we have to go further, we'll do.
Yes, there's a decline to some extent, but there's still a lot of people speaking French in Montreal.
In Montreal, Swidda Rassy, City News.